Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, this week on the Black Men's Roundtable, we wanted to talk about child support, so we brought in a more diverse panel. Usually it's just the 4 brothers, the 5 brothers, and we talk about our issues, but we felt it would only be fair if we brought some women in for this show so we could get some opposing views, maybe a female perspective, if you say, you know. I want to start by just asking people what they think about child support, as in whether or not it's necessary. I guess we can start with that. I used to personally think it was, but now seeing how it operates, I would have to say, if I had to vote for or against it, I'll vote against it.
As a female, I know it sounds strange. I do have a child, but I will vote against it. I think it's pointless.
In certain situations, I understand. So I'm kind of on the fence. But if I had to vote, I would say no. It's not necessary.
I would say it's necessary. I would say it's necessary. It's just it needs to be. It's a flawed system. It needs to be cleaned up.
With how it is right now, though. If you had to vote for it, take it how it is or get rid of it.
Well, I mean, you would have to get rid of it. It's a flawed system, but I think you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary too.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary.
I think it's necessary.
But you know, it's a flawed system, as you said. So I mean, it's not. It definitely needs to be revamped and rethought and revoted on or whatever. So. Yeah.
And from my perspective, when I think about child support, I don't just think about like government enforced caring for your children. I think every child that comes on this earth has a right to be cared for by both of their parents. And so, if that's the mother who isn't with the father or with the child, the mother should have to pay child support, however they work that out. And if you don't handle your business, then I feel like for different situations with different people, perhaps there should be some external pressure placed on you for you to make sure you handle your business and your child does not go without. That doesn't necessarily mean like if you're broke, if you were with the mother and you were broke, y'all would all just be broke together. So the system is flawed to the extent that it expects for men to do more than what they would have normally done if they were with the mother.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it also kind of allows for the mother to do absolutely nothing sometimes, remain the same, not make no money, but it's expected that the man is going to no longer be a bum, even if he was one in the first place. So it's fair for her to not do anything, but it's consequences to him not doing anything.
Yeah, right. And there's consequences for him even doing something if what he does doesn't work.
Right.
And that's what, to me, the real problem is. I mean, if you lose your job,
right.
Even if it does work, though, he gets penalized.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Now child support goes up. You got to pay more money.
Right.
You're like, oh, good job. You got a raise at work. Yeah. Give me some more money.
Right. But you understand why that is, though, right? Because if you if you and the mother of the child were together and you got a raise at home, then your child would necessarily, in some sort of way, feel the benefit of that raise. I mean, theoretically, that's the thought behind it, right?
I don't see it that way. Like, I got all my kids. I don't just go around handing my kids $200 a month. Mm-hmm. Like, just child support. Here's $200 for you. Do what you want. Here's $200 for you. Do what you want. I don't do that.
But say you're not doing that with child support either, though, right?
Basically, you are.
But let's also say you make
to the mother, not to the child, to the mother.
And that's the problem, though.
That's the problem.
But also, if I think her point sort of is, let's say you make $60,000 a year right now. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you get a promotion or something happens, and now you're making $160,000. Your kid's standard of living,
jump though, but yeah, I got
right? But your kid's standard of living would naturally change.
Yeah.
Even if you jump from 60 to 90,000, their standard of living is going to change naturally anyway. I think that's what she's going to say.
I think that the child support payment should be more based on the woman's standard of living because if not the woman's, but wherever the kid stays at, and kind of mirror what they are producing, because that's more conducive to being able to match that lifestyle. So what I'm saying is, if I make $200,000 and I had a baby with a girl who made 50, right? If she's making 50, and I pay, based on what a spouse, $100,000 income, that's more realistic because it's not tied to an external factor in the household.
But
You
you
get me?
understand?
Like she sets her life at 50 grand.
So if I'm balling,
But
I
you-
should just fuck with poor chicks all the
That's
time.
exactly
nigga.
what
It would
that
behoove
means.
me
That's
to
exactly
mess
what
with
that
welfare
means.
recipients.
That's what that means, right? If you think about, but you have to recognize though that child support was designed to keep the child in the same place it would have been, he or she would have been if the parents were together.
Okay, but what about the guy who makes $3 million but lives like he makes 100 grand? Should he still pay like he makes $3 million if he's living a lifestyle of 100 grand person? Or should he pay like he makes 300?
There should be some type of cap on that.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, just
Yeah.
because, if I go from making 60 to 160, okay, I need to pay a little bit
Yeah.
more. But if I, all of a sudden get $5 million, that don't mean all of a sudden I got to fork it over.
Yeah.
Because it's not going, at
It's
the
not
end of
going
the
to
day,
the child.
it's not going to start going
And
to
you
the kid.
should at
Maybe the
least-
overage can go
you
to
should
a
at
trust
least have
fund or
the
something,
option.
but
Yeah,
it's not
That's what I'm
That
saying.
doesn't make sense.
You should at least have the option to put that money directly to something that's going to support that kid.
I agree.
This is college fund
And
money.
only that.
Right.
Well,
It has
and
nothing to do with the
typically-
mom.
Right, and so if you have appropriate financial planning, absolutely it should go to college fund, right? The other thing too though is if you aren't with the woman, then this may or may not sound right or wrong, whatever. But if you are with a woman and you were a $60,000 dude when you were with her, and you turn into a $1.6 million dude after the baby has been born and living for some time, maybe it ain't none of her business how much money you got. And the only way
Exactly.
you get into
Right.
trouble is when you start flossing, doing extra. You know what I
Definitely,
mean?
definitely.
And then the modification comes into play.
But she might just be on knowing what you make.
It's gonna come too.
Right. She gonna figure it out. Not her new dude like, damn nigga, thanks.
You got the guy working 2 years.
Right.
Thank you.
But it seems to me,
Like, oh,
Thank you.
but it sounds to me like
we got raised.
We the new dude like we got a raise.
But it seems to me like with a lot of what I hear you all saying, the problem isn't necessarily the system, although there are lots of problems with the system, but just your level of comfort, ability to trust that with the
money's gonna
woman,
where she
yeah,
goes.
with
It's
the
gonna do
woman
it, the money.
That
is
is
doing
going
the
to
right
actually
thing.
be for the
Yeah,
child.
benefit the child.
That's where one of my issues come in, where I said that I think it's pointless in a way. The reason I say this, okay, you have all this money, okay, we're going to keep it at 50,000, okay. Let's say he gets raised to 90,000. So, as a father, you're going to still that's paying
Hopefully, right. Hopefully, I got you.
that's paying child support.
Mhm.
If you're doing what you're supposed to do and you know what's right, you can go down there and up it yourself before she finds out, or you can set something up for that child, like y'all were saying, to put into some kind of fund for it to be something for the child. Now, if you giving all this money, you get this raise, and all of a sudden they're moving into a bigger house, they're eating,
Filet mignon.
right. You drinking Remy when you used to drink in Parmesan, whatever. You see that that's not going directly towards the child. That's where my issue comes in. It's called child support. But at the same time, the support is supposed to also help keep a roof over their head, the electricity on, stuff like that. It's not supposed to be a come up for y'all.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be to help this child survive in the world. Because it's expensive to raise a child. So you got a single mother, okay, which I happen to be one, who's doing everything for this kid. Let's say I take my son's father to child support. So now that's extra income coming in. He loses his job. Now I don't have nothing. I don't have that extra income anymore. So I have to figure out how to do this all by myself all over again.
I see what
Because
you're
I don't have
saying.
anything coming in.
Right.
So it's like, why?
But you should be doing that anyway. as a woman.
Exactly.
As,
That's
I
why
mean,
but it's so many women out here, not everybody, that depends on child support to come in so they can have everything taken care of with them included. So I should not see you in Gucci or whatever it is.
oh, you
that
might
you're
see
wearing
me in it, but I'm gonna pay for it
But you can pay
myself.
for it yourself. It's not coming from
That's
child
right,
support. But
right.
a lot of it is coming from child support
Yeah.
because they see that as just
Hey, as long as
extra
you
money
and the child
coming
got
in.
Gucci, then okay, you spent the child support on Gucci, so y'all got matching
Right.
Gucci belts or whatever the heck it is.
But I mean, whatever. Just as a
I'm
to throw
not
that out
sure
there.
if it's. America is quote unquote the greatest country in the world. Why can't we get child support right? it's not really that hard.
Because the government making money off of it.
Well, I don't think that. I don't think it's in a lot of people's best interest to get it right. I mean, it's a lot of things. That was kind of a rhetorical
Loaded
question. I'm trying to say like,
Right.
you know, we're going to
You
get it
wanna
right.
answer?
But I mean, it doesn't seem like it's really that difficult with all these great minds you could put to work.
Well, it's like
It doesn't seem like that difficult of a problem. It just don't seem like nothing that nobody's really trying to figure out.
concerned about that right here.
No, nobody cares about
They
that.
can
They're
fix
trying
anything
they're
they want
trying
to.
to fix it with the same way that they fixed everything else, right?
Mhm.
Which is to penalize you and lock you up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're trying to get people in jail.
Jail.
Yeah,
They're
that's
trying to
right.
make money.
That's right. And so for the system, you know, for the government, the way that they exert pressure, the way that they, you know, say either you're worthy or you aren't worthy is if you aren't worthy, you go to jail.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, and that's a problem because it doesn't benefit the kid. You know, you take my license and I can't drive to work.
Right.
Right.
What does it do?
Right.
What the,
That's why I'm like, it's kind of like pointless.
It makes no sense.
We're back to my
What's your point?
point.
And that's across the country.
Right.
That's across the country. We live in, you know, in Cleveland, Ohio. We don't have a major reliable subway system like Chicago or New York. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so most people drive here.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
then you have, okay, this child support gets to a certain level, and they want to take all this money from you out of your checks before you even see it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you supposed to survive that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of guys just don't work. A lot of guys, they get to the
I
point, it's
know.
like, fuck it, I ain't paying.
Yeah.
Y'all, I can be
Yeah.
in the rears and all of that. I got employees who I take child support out they check. I got employees that don't work that much. They child support caseworkers call me if they miss a payment. Hey, what's going on? We didn't get so and so's payment. He's behind. I don't give a fuck if he worked 2 hours last week. I need them 2 hours. It literally gets to the point where, how can he really realistically even eat?
How can
He got a part-time job. I'm not about to just give him more hours because he got child support. They ain't got shit to do with my business.
Right.
But
That's true.
I mean, realistically, if this is the only job that he can get right now,
Yeah.
working 18 hours a week or something like that, that's all he really can do. He's trying, and that's all he can do.
Hell, my cousin. Sorry, cousin.
You gotta say I know somebody.
Sorry, cousin.
My cousin Earl.
No names, please. He got 2 kids. So I just had this talk with my aunt this morning. It's so funny. He got 2 kids, and one of his baby mamas. My cousin works at University Hospital. He only makes $12, $13 an hour. He pays $400-something a month for one kid and $200-something for the other. That's a whole
That's
check.
a check.
And
That's
then the one girl who get the $400-something had got
That
nervous.
sound like a hookup. See, that sound like a hookup, don't it?
She got nervous. She called my cousin and say on Christmas, your child need a flat screen TV, a DVR, and this and that. Bitch, didn't I pay you $400 a month? You should save that through the year if you want the child to have that for Christmas.
That's Christmas.
Right.
Your child don't need none of that shit.
No, she don't. You know who it's for, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Right.
What you want me to do about it?
It's not
They don't get all
necessary.
that money though. They don't get all the money they take from that shit.
Yeah, I know.
They take a percentage and then it's like
Yeah, that's what Rachel was saying.
Yeah, not only
They
they take a percentage,
take a
but
little
they
piece of all
try
of
to
it.
get
Wait, what happened?
people against
like
each other.
they don't get you don't
Yeah.
get like she don't get the whole
It's a
like my ex-wife
processing
don't
fee.
get she don't get the whole $875. You know what I'm saying?
How much?
$875.50. She don't get
A year?
That's a month. That's a month monthly. That's what I pay for.
That's about right.
Nigga, what you play for the Cavs or
And 2
something?
kids?
Two kids?
Wait a minute.
No wonder why Tristan trying to get off.
Where's $400 per kid? $400 per kid is not gonna do
And
nothing.
you gotta think about the medical.
does
Like,
nothing.
that's what only
But the
reason.
thing they don't take into account, like I know he buys them everything they need too, though.
That's true.
I was about to say, see, that's the problem.
Every pair of
No,
shoes
but
on
that
their
rate,
feet.
probably
All the clothes on
does
their back.
no, but that
Huh?
rate probably does take into account that. Because dudes who don't have shared parenting or haven't been married before, that kids are going for $900 a month.
Yeah, that's
Trust
how-
and
that's
believe.
how-
It's
yeah, that's
$900 a
how-
month. So
See?
for one kid
Now you see-
in
you see?
Cleveland, Ohio.
And that's ridiculous because people aren't making
I was like, who's making that?
most people aren't really making that for real. That's crazy.
We're
You
not.
know?
And to
And
keep
then,
it
like
real,
you
That's
said,
no
they
matter
get a
where you work at?
they get the process.
That's no matter where you work
Yeah,
at?
it's changed the way how much you make too. Like it's just like y'all said.
Oh, it does? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
$875
See, I was just thinking that was such a high number because let's say he made $9 an hour.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
How can you pay? That's a lot of money for somebody who makes
That's
$9
all.
an
That's
hour.
all. That's your month.
They take the like the medical.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Which honestly, it's, you know, I'm gonna be honest. What I'm gonna say is, it's like you getting away with murder pretty much. Like, 'cause you not really, like they said, you pay. I mean, you think about the food,
Yep.
your especially daycare. Daycare alone is like,
That's,
you know,
that's a
That's
killer
right.
right
they
there.
make all
bro.
that money, and all that money goes straight there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that money that you get, I mean, child support, just go right there, and then like you get them calls like, Daddy, I need my new iPad, like you were just saying, like for school, or they just doing good, or I want these new LeBrons, and I broke that iPad, so now I got to get a case for that one, you know, and that's the only way you can talk to them through FaceTime, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of, I'm sorry.
I get it.
You're getting away with, I mean, a lot of people don't see it like that.
Like
but-
the man is getting away.
No, see, yes, they are.
I think a lot of times they. I think a lot of guys are.
Some dudes.
You get away with
I know
murder.
some dudes spend like $100 a month or something.
Yeah.
I said, what?
I know how much these little niggas that's upstairs right now cost.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say to
They
you.
cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
And so
definitely
if
agree
you,
with
instead you
you.
pay $875 a month, you capped your, you know, all I
I
got.
might get divorced.
$875.
I might. This might be my little everyday marriage.
I'm glad you told me this.
So, all right, so what I'm trying
I'm
to
on a
understand.
state mission.
What I'm trying to understand. So, okay,
So I can say this.
so you pay $875 a month. You
You
say
ain't
don't
never
get the
paid
whole
$875.
$875.
No, they take a percentage.
Yeah.
One of my dudes
Well,
is
they
paying
take a
It's a processing
$600.
fee. It's
There's
a
a
processing
processing
fee that they
fee.
get paid too. That's why they come at you so hard, because they're gonna get mad. Like
Or
you
is
said,
it 4%?
it's all
They get a
about money.
So they get a
Right,
commission.
no, well,
Yeah.
one of the guys I know was paying $6, and
It used to be 2.
they were
I don't
getting
know what
like,
it is now.
the girl was getting 4 something.
Right.
See, that's the problem. I think that's why it's so high.
But it,
Yeah.
well,
Because they're trying to make sure they get their percentage.
But
let's
is that
be
is
real.
that an example where she gets public assistance
That's
though,
what
and
I
it
was
goes
about to
totally
say.
to public
So
assistance?
that's the
Sometimes that
That
happens.
makes
Yeah.
sense though.
So if they're
I don't
paying
know. I
back,
don't know if she on public
because the processing
assistance.
fee is only, it was 2% when I was a prosecutor in child support, and I think it's 4% now, right? But if you were on welfare
At
and
any point.
at any point during, you know, that
paying
child's
for that.
life,
You paying for
they're
that.
gonna, yeah,
Yeah,
they're gonna,
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
pay back. The
Yeah.
guy has to
All
pay
day.
that back alone.
Yep.
So that's kind of unfair, right? Because the mother,
Yeah, what's she doing?
right,
Right.
she never
But at
has,
least she's not getting that whole amount.
she's not getting the whole amount, but the government is getting
Right, and
a portion of it.
Okay,
And so
I mean,
that's why
you gotta
sometimes
pay
when
back.
even you may
Yeah,
have,
that's right.
you may have a female, you may have a woman, a mother who says, I'm cool. We don't need child support between me and you. Whatever you can do for the kid is what
Right.
you can do, right? And the government will say, not so fast.
Right.
Because you got those food stamps. We paid for that baby to be born.
Right.
We gave you that medical insurance for the first
I've
however many
heard that.
years.
I've heard
like-
that.
Right?
That makes
And
sense.
So then they come after you.
I've heard
for
of
child
a lot
support.
of cases of females that won't go get public assistance and stuff like that because they're going to ask who's the father.
Yeah.
And if she won't get the information up, it ain't no child care, food stamps, none of that stuff, and she won't get the information up. So that definitely
Well,
makes
see,
sense.
my gripe with child support is the fact that the father has no rights or say with anything that happens with the baby from the jump. Like, if a girl wants an abortion, he can't stop it. If she wants to put him up for adoption, he can't stop it. But then he's responsible completely if she decides to keep the baby. You know, I think he should have some type of say-so in the earlier processes. You know,
so
I
this
agree.
is how,
before they make him completely liable. You know, but go ahead.
when I had my son, I had a caseworker assigned to me that came in and wanted me to sign child support papers right then and there after I had my son.
Jeez,
And I'm
Louise.
like,
They come into your room,
yes.
huh?
Yeah.
They came
You
to
and your
me.
gown and
This
shit.
was in 2008. Is when I had my son. They came into the room and they said, if the parents are not married, we automatically set you up with a case number and you can get signed up with child support. I said,
Wow.
I don't want it. Because first of all, we were still together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't
We
know my
weren't married.
situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, if I'm living with this person, why am I going to put him on child support?
Mhm.
Now, things didn't work out. Okay, fine. I'm still not going to child support because I don't want to be
In the
within that
business.
system.
Me
I don't
either.
want.
Yeah.
I don't want.
I don't like none of that. Right?
What's they say?
I don't want no part
Right,
of
me
that
either.
because, like I said
This going
before,
on. This going on.
What's
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something for
Go
real
ahead,
though.
speak. Man, go speak your mind, say.
Let me ask you something. Why couldn't you and your ex work out that you just pay her?
We was married, but
Right.
I'm gonna tell you things. I'm gonna tell you this. It
Speak
benefited us being on. Like she went. Okay, when we got married, and then she went and got child support. It was cheaper as we was married. You know what I'm saying? That's when we was younger. It's cheaper
Okay,
because you
I
get your
got you.
benefits, your kids,
Mhm.
they eat, the money stay in house. So they don't know that. You gotta tell them they're married. And so
I know people that did that
you
too.
pay this money
Right.
and we get it back. You know what I mean? It's like we on
Right.
food stamps and it all worked out for us. You know,
Mhm.
we did good. You know what I mean? And
And I
then
get that.
when we split up, when we got a divorce, it just went full throttle.
It was
Everything.
already there.
No more money.
But it was already there.
Yeah,
So-
it's already
So you
already
paying back pay? Is that what it is?
No.
No.
It's just
Okay.
the order that
Already
he already
passed
had in
on.
place.
Right.
So they had an order
We
and
were
it just
married.
continued.
We was married. We was already, and we just never she just never told. And we just kept it all.
Right.
My
Mhm.
kids got their visits for cheap. Everything was
Right.
cheap.
You got
and
everything,
and that's the way
medical
we
and
survived.
everything. I got you.
That's the way it worked.
And then now, you're not together,
Yeah,
and it's on you.
it's definitely.
So it's kind of like, where's the other half when y'all were doing it together
You
before?
get used.
But he doesn't really feel bad about paying child
No.
support though.
And that's fine.
And he's not paying that much.
Yeah,
And
he's
that's
not
fine.
one of the guys that's like, this is crazy, this is some bullshit. He like,
Because you had that worked out already.
But do you feel like child support is a tool for her?
The only thing I don't like is like the whole I never can claim you know what I mean, like at the first.
Right.
Yes, you can.
Why can't you?
You need if she agrees
Yeah, that's the
that
thing.
you
should
claim
be
you
able to
have
switch
two
back and
kids.
forth.
Right.
No, you have two
I
kids.
just found that out.
You should claim one and she should
Right.
claim
Yeah,
one.
she can
If
claim both of
it's
them forever.
if it's so cool.
Why she
like-
get both? I don't understand.
I mean,
She gets paid.
It's like you ain't contributing.
no, I'm just saying if it's you can present it to her. You can present it to
See?
her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And just say.
But that's almost like what Ed was just saying about the man not having no rights, because what you're saying is if she agrees,
yeah.
if we're not
She
civil,
never agreed.
you're
She
never
never
gonna agree.
Yeah, but you're not gonna agree to just give somebody some money.
Right.
I do it
Especially
every
when you're
day.
used to them giving
I do it
not when you're
every
used to them
But you should.
giving you money all the time.
That should be
Only
shared.
being
That
that.
claiming a child should
I
be
was a
shared.
stay-at-home mom forever.
That makes no sense.
But you're a rational person.
Yeah, you're a rational person. That's
You gotta
one.
think outside
No,
of it.
rare that
People ain't
is.
rational.
Right.
And you've chosen to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's an option that
Absolutely.
women have. Like you
And
can
they
opt
should
not
take it.
to,
And
but
they
you
should take
can.
it.
But in this society, you can opt not to.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think as a man,
That's not right. I don't know.
that's one thing that we just have to be more careful of, because we know certain things. We know when we get pulled over by the police, there's a certain protocol we gotta follow.
Uh-huh.
We know when it comes to child support, we know that we get stroked a lot of times in that situation. We have to do a better job of
Wrap
not
it
putting
up.
ourselves in a
Wrap it up.
situation where we know we gonna get stroked.
Right.
Your uncle, your cousin, your
Wrap it
brother,
up.
your father, all of these niggas got stroked, and you out here barebacking bitches every Thursday night.
Yeah.
You stupid.
And then mad when she don't want to get rid of the baby.
Right.
Who you mad at? Be mad
Right.
at yourself.
Right. You a chick. You don't even know her, but you supposed to trust
Or
her.
buy a supply of Plan B or something. You gotta come with some kind of
No,
plan.
she let you.
Swallow that pill. Shut up.
You thought she was just letting you do it wrong for no reason. You thought she was just letting you do it wrong for no reason. That's silly.
Right.
That's silly.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, so I watched. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I watched the episode of Ray Donovan. Anybody watch Ray Donovan?
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay, so what happened was this black guy was a football, basketball player or something. He was having sex with his Asian girl. He wrapped it up, right?
Oh yes.
But he let her take control of the condom.
Yeah,
What did she
that
do?
happens.
I mean,
They was in a hotel. She opened up the door, passed to somebody.
No, I had a
So now they can get somebody
girlfriend.
pregnant with that and say, and the court's gonna be like, hey, that's you. That's your DNA.
I had a girlfriend.
I said you better take all your own stuff, flush it, burn it, everything.
I had a girlfriend whose mother came home drunk, saying that that's how she got out from under her parents.
Say what?
She was drunk as hell. She was like, I had to get out of that house. She was talking about when she was 18, 19, whatever. She's like, so your father came in that condom and he threw it in the trash can. And as soon as he left, I was in there. I was in the bathroom. I had my foot. And, you know, of course, she embarrasses all hell. But I was like, oh, see, yeah, okay, fuck with you.
You will learn this shit. This your seed now.
She told the child that?
She was drunk, telling both of them.
Tell him, talking.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So that's
But
that's
even in that
crazy.
situation, he's liable, though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it
Right.
don't,
Sorry,
yeah,
your DNA.
You know what I mean?
a blood test not gonna lie. That's you.
That's why Ray Caruth in jail right now. Do y'all understand that?
No, Ray Caruth in jail right now because Ray is
Killing everybody.
Ray Caruth in jail right now because he is a dumb MNF.
Oh yeah, he is.
And he needs to stay, Ray.
The
Ray was like, I fixed
Say
this
your
shit.
ass.
The views of him do not express the value that black means
I watched that whole
Just joking. Just joking.
I watched that whole trial. Ray Ray needs to
I
stay right where
did. I was like,
he
boy,
is.
these. I watched his life story. I was like, this boy's stupid.
He might be up, he's up for parole.
Is it?
Yeah, in like another 2 years, and his son is old. Yeah.
Like 16, yeah.
Did you see? I read something on that not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean,
His son forgave him or something, didn't he?
Yes, son
Well,
did.
he
His son
forgave
forgave
him.
him.
He-
And the
that's
mother,
because he used
and
to
her
live with that
mother
mother,
did
huh?
too.
Wow.
yeah, they
That's
good
a
people,
lot.
but I wouldn't forgave shit.
Nah.
But
Right.
Can't wait till you get out of jail.
they got a show on Netflix called The Killer Speaks.
Yep.
And the dude that, you saw that?
No.
What is it?
Man, that
What is
dude
it?
a cold piece of work. It's about,
Is it a real
yeah,
story?
Yes.
the real killers.
Uh-huh.
They tell.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
the dude that killed Ray Caruso.
Oh, the crazy guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
man, that dude is.
Yeah, I
No.
should have killed
He
that
is
bitch.
gone.
That
He was like,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to
That
be
bitch
the
right there. That bitch right there.
I ain't caring nothing about she was pregnant.
Are you talking
I
about
ain't caring about
the
you.
light skinned dude?
Yeah.
I was like, Ray Caruth's the bitch I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That bitch right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was crazy.
that
Crazy.
dude was, yeah, he's out there.
I'm sorry for bringing up Ray.
It's like,
Ray. Little Ray.
No, Ray Ray.
I mean, I think in certain
That's some
situations
bitch better not be
when you got
rich.
when you got a guy that's running around, or it's a guy that just knock a chick up and decide I'm not gonna be there no more. In that situation, he needs to be doing something. He
You
needs
said he
to
got
pay
to jail,
child
though?
support.
Yes.
What's that?
Should he go to jail?
They still make smart
I don't know.
decisions.
What would be the other repercussion? What we gonna put the nigga in the corner or something because he decided he gonna be a
Time
dead
out.
nigga? Right, maybe he put the nigga on time out.
I mean, but see, the thing is, like, let's look at the situation of all these babies anyways. When did this shit start? When welfare started. You know, this whole marriage, I mean, babies out of wedlock, fucking niggas cause they're cute or they got light eyes and shit. That shit started when
see that baby
when it
hair he
became.
got
I'm getting that.
That shit started when government said we got your back, fuck whoever you want.
Well, and
You know-
what the government said was, we have this really nice public housing, but you can't live here if you
Single.
Yeah.
if you
If you're
married.
married
If you're married, you got to be single. You got to
Very
be
true.
by
you gotta be a
yourself
single mom.
with these kids.
Very
You gotta be a single mom, right? That's what I meant.
Back in the
Right.
day, you had to be married.
Right.
Then they changed it to
Right.
Very
You
true.
cannot
So
use
women was like, oh, I got
So
you.
at the end of the day, I still think it's just a flawed system.
Yeah.
If the system worked like it should, then it would make sense to put the true deadbeats in jail. Lock them up. They could be a minimum security jail, whatever. They just shouldn't be roaming free.
Well, they're
The
not
problem is the system ain't working like it should.
And they're not going to jail. Let's
It
be
should be
clear
some-
though. They're not going to jail for long periods of time, right? Like the max when you're for contempt of court, like for not paying your child support order before it becomes a felony, they're only going to jail for 30 days or less.
Oh,
But
wow.
see, that's still lose your
the
job.
trap is this
Right.
though.
You still lose your
no,
job
I
in
get what
situations
Mike
like
just
that.
said.
Kind of
No,
pointless
no,
that they put you in jail
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Right.
I mean, you probably could be in a
So it's
work
almost-
release where you
but
have
it's
to come
almost
back
like
here
a scare
after
But
work.
that ain't what they do.
Right.
Yeah,
If you
but-
gotta go to work and you bring your ass back here.
But the people who are in contempt are not. They don't have jobs.
But you can't get a job once you lost your license.
Right.
So now
the
you
license-
trapped in the
once you
game.
get-
Now you gonna keep getting behind. You gonna keep getting locked up.
That's
because
right.
you're
I'm not even
felony.
felon.
And now you gotta
But
check
the
that box.
license is the first step. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Taking your license is the first step.
But that's the only step that you really need to fuck your whole life up.
I agree.
Even if you're
Right.
trying your
I
hardest.
agree.
Yeah, and
I
that's the
completely
problem.
agree.
But let me ask
I
y'all, how
completely
far do you have to be behind to lose your license?
A payment or two.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, they can
Right.
do it
Yeah.
for a payment or two, right?
It depends on who your worker is.
But like most
Yeah.
government workers, a lot of them are lazy and take them a little bit before they catch on.
Wow.
Yeah, you can call me whatever about that, but that's the truth. I seen y'all at work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if they, unless it's like somebody, you know, oh, I know Rachel's dude ain't doing it, I'm gonna stick it to him real fast, right? Unless they know you, they're not really coming for you immediately.
Right.
Okay.
They're so backed
It
up in
takes a
different things.
They
and,
are.
you know,
It takes a little bit. And it's a whole
Right.
bunch of dudes out there just not paying child support.
They just
Yeah,
won't.
and I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah,
but
right.
I just
That's a
don't
little
think that the way it's set up. I mean, it's all crap to me.
I think you should have
So
an
it's
option
all crap
to work it out with the woman. Hey,
Yeah, you should.
how much
I mean,
can
I
we
think
do?
that should be
300?
the
You should be able to sign the contract.
Yeah.
This is what I'm paying her.
Like,
should
I don't need y'all to
Need your
tell me how
calculation.
much to pay
Yeah,
for my
I don't
child.
need your calculation.
Right. I'll buy this. You do this. I'll get them for the summer. You know,
Yeah,
work
but you
it
got
out.
too many men.
Do it in the
You
ma-
got
in
too
front
many
of a
men.
And then those, they need to.
Yeah.
Right.
You got-
I
You need to go to jail.
I
You need
think
to,
that-
so you need to be repercussion for that. But you should have a chance to be able to work it out
Yeah.
with the
That's
woman.
right.
So with the system the way it is, being fucked up for lack of a better word, why is that? Because the people who make the rules are out of touch? Why
No,
you think-
because
why
they
you
want
think
free
it-
labor in that jail.
They want
money.
It's all
And
about-
But the whole jail thing
And
was
let's
be
real.
real,
what, 10,
Welfare
15
came.
years ago?
Welfare
I mean, it was
started.
always like that, right?
Welfare started to break up the black family to begin with.
What's that?
It's just an added addition to further create division between.
That's what I
black
thought
and
child
Once they
support
make
for,
it
honestly.
okay
Yeah.
for a woman to live by herself, to be able to get food, medical, shelter, whatever, without a man.
So the black community is the target.
Yeah, think about slavery. What they did in slavery was they made sure they separated the man and woman.
Emasculated the man, had
Right.
to make the woman.
So now they
strong,
made that women's rights thing. So they push women towards women's rights. So black women move that way.
Right.
So now women feel like they're independent,
always
even though
And
they're
they
on
switched-
government.
And
No,
they
we
switched the
always
roles
been-
though. They switched the roles of men and women.
Yes and
used-
no.
And used the system to put the woman over the man.
Right.
Right.
And that's what they did in slavery.
I mean, I agree.
That's what they did.
I agree with everything y'all saying. I know some niggas that's just
That's right.
Just dirty.
shitty scumbag ass.
Yeah, but those same
Need to
niggas.
be
But they deserve it.
But,
face ass niggas.
but would they have
These
gotten
niggas
that
need to
ass
get child
if the
support.
system wasn't set up in the first fucking
And
place?
they gonna
What's that?
and they still
If they didn't have that crutch, would these niggas even
Would
be
they
getting
still
pussy?
would they be like that?
Oh.
That's my point.
I mean, I
That's
think
a good ass
the
point.
thing. The crutch is there so that
That's a
you
great
do whatever the fuck
Yeah,
you want
no.
to do. Because there's no consequence for a woman to do whatever the fuck.
Right. If you weren't getting child support, she would be thinking about it. I don't know about this motherfucker.
Pussy in the
I might have to raise this child.
They got pussy at the end of the 60s.
Right.
And so that's my point.
Right.
It's not about the men
No,
being
that's a
shitty.
great
Them
point.
niggas always existed.
That's
They just
great.
couldn't get no ass before. Now they get ass because they got backup.
Right.
They know that they can ruin
So
a nigga
you
like
saying that they would be more afraid
It wouldn't be
to
so
give a
free
nigga
with
some
it.
ass
Right.
If they didn't have no
I get
backup.
pregnant by this
Right.
nigga, I
I
know
really
he
gotta
gonna
take
be
care
there,
of
and I'm
this.
really gonna
I
be
gotta
like,
work 4 jobs.
That's what I'm saying. Before,
The government ain't helping
getting
me.
pregnant meant I'm gonna burden myself, my mother, my father,
My grandmother.
my sister.
Right.
So it was like I'm not gonna come home with a
Family.
pregnant.
So I'm taking even from that, even
Yeah.
fast forward to right now, a woman that's about something.
Women that's about something don't fuck them niggas.
Exactly.
They don't.
Exactly.
We ain't looking for y'all.
Exactly.
We are
She's still not
looking
gonna
for
fuck
y'all.
with him because she does not want
And
to
if she
be.
does, she is
Only
willing to
dependent
take care
on
of
the
that baby
system.
by
Right.
herself anyway.
Right.
You said what?
I'm about saying if she do mess
She
up.
don't give a fuck about
Exactly.
putting them on.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But she's. But I'm saying she's not gonna be the chick that has 5 kids
Right.
all over the
That's
place
right.
because she don't want to be a product of the system
Exactly.
with 5 kids.
Exactly.
Right.
I got it. I got it.
So what about the reverse? Have you heard the case about the guy that paid too much child support?
And
And
got-
they put his
yeah.
ass in jail?
Yeah.
And he went to jail. I don't understand that.
He's like, I'm trying to, make sure my kid is taken care of. Go to jail. Paying child support.
Did you hear about the guy who
What?
who owes 30 grand for a kid that ain't his?
Yeah.
Chicago?
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Oh, it's those dudes are here in Cleveland.
No, but the thing was,
This made the news.
the,
though.
the,
It was
the,
like-
Yeah.
the court,
But I know one
claim.
of them personally.
yeah, the court claimed that they delivered his subpoena for child support, and he was in jail at the time. He was in the holding cell for like drunk driving or something.
Okay.
And so legally, they lied,
Okay.
and so he
Still
never
got
even got
away with
those papers.
Okay.
But they
Somebody signed.
They were only reason he didn't go to jail is because the news case was there. But they're
Wow.
still telling him he owes 30 grand. The woman admitted that she knew it wasn't his son, and the reason she said it was his was because she knew he was in jail and the papers wouldn't get to him. And they still said if he don't come up with 30, he going to jail.
And that's why.
Fuck all that.
And that's
We want our $30,000.
Right. And here is
Somebody care about this evidence shit?
Right.
Right.
You know how we operate in the government?
Right.
Makes too much sense.
Right. And so I don't know if I said at the beginning, like I what'd you say,
What's up?
Steve?
Say it out.
I know, I was just saying. Just talking.
You got you on video, baby. Talk up.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. I messed up. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to say that those types of examples, because I know how bad the system is. That's why I didn't bother to get child support.
It's pointless.
I mean, but I do believe that every man who is worth half of the blood in his body should not be able to look at their child when they turn 18, 21, 35, whatever, and know that you haven't contributed to their life.
Anything.
No, they did.
And
Shit.
you also got some niggas that pull the bait and switch.
That's true.
A nigga this nigga going to school or he done graduated from school, he got a good job and all of that. Then it's got you, bitch. Nigga have a kid and he decide I'm gonna be a loser. And he decide I ain't doing shit from now on.
Oh, that's
You
horrible.
got
Well,
situations like that
one
too.
thing I will say is men have a habit of taking care of the women's kids that they with.
Yep.
And that's a big problem.
Yeah,
Man, I know
Instead
people. I
of
got
their
family members
Definitely.
who will take good care of whoever they fucking. That's it though.
Right.
If they ain't fucking their kids' mother, their kids don't exist, and that's
You gonna
a
give us a
real
bullet?
problem. That's a real
I'll
problem.
write this check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. It's true. It's true.
I mean, all in all, I think the system is too flawed for it to even be in place. Just because it's not being used, I don't think it's really being used to help people. I think it's being used to fuck people over, you know. So again, if I had to vote for it, it'd be a no. But I get everybody's standpoint, you know, and I see, but I also strongly feel, like I said before, this shit wouldn't be an issue if the system didn't provide the way, set it up the way it's set up.
Yeah.
You know, because it wasn't an issue before. This shit is an issue because it's allowed to be. What's the fear of a woman who gets pregnant right now by a nothing ass nigga?
Nothing.
Everything.
I mean, but what's the real fear of a woman? Not with goals, just a raggedy, regular
But like, I know
ass.
woman's trying to be
Do
something.
something, yeah.
I don't know. I can't speak for
What's
Right.
the fear?
That's what
You know
I'm
what I mean? That you gonna get home, you gonna get food, you gonna
Section
get
8, food,
yeah,
medical,
yeah,
dental.
yeah. So I mean, actually, you improve your life by having a baby by a dude who ain't gonna be around, especially when your pool of dudes is low.
Yeah.
You just say, fuck it, let me get one of these niggas who won't be here. You know, I'm gonna have a baby by him. Now I'm straight.
And the government can
Or
harass
Right.
them.
got
multiple
me.
babies
Right.
by
Yeah.
different
I mean, and at the
And
end of
then
the day, that
fuck
nigga
his
was
life
doing that
up.
when you met him.
Fuck the kid life
That
up.
nigga was driving your neon, playing your
Dropping
son
your ass off at work.
Xbox, sitting on your couch while you went to your job.
Yeah. But my whole point
Now
is the
it's an
system
issue.
allows for that.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? If it wasn't there, this shit wouldn't be. This wouldn't even be a discussion.
Right.
Because it wouldn't be niggas out here. I mean, chicks out here having babies by niggas. Especially once he got one, the shit will never happen again.
Yeah,
Because of
more than two.
the grapevine work. If a nigga want to take care of his kids, he was not getting nobody else pregnant.
Right.
Wasn't nobody fucking him no more.
Right.
So you can do that one time back in the day when people knew what was when it was on the parents. Now niggas can have 6, 7, 8 baby mothers.
But I think at the end of the day, too, right now, it's still the woman's responsibility to not get these niggas no pussy.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you know he's a bum ass nigga, it's different when he pulled the bait and switch. It's like, oh, he surprised me. Like y'all said, I'm gonna take care of it anyway. He surprised me. Things didn't work out. He turned out not to be shit. He was cool when we met. That's cool. You're gonna take care of it as a woman, but it's your responsibility not to keep fucking with niggas that ain't shit and just decide I'm gonna give everybody some pussy and be mad at him when he don't pay child support.
Yeah.
You get some pussy.
Well, and for the dudes,
Right,
and for
here.
the dudes,
Everybody just take some.
but for the dudes who
Where
are
my
working,
money at?
for the dudes who are working or doing something, you know, taking care of themselves and maybe able to support a woman should they find one that they like, don't mess around with do nothing bitches.
Mhm.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
ultimately, there's a lot of systemic problems in America, and it's a lot of problems that's put here on purpose. But I think the people that know what's up, it's up to us to fuck with other people that know what's up.
That's right.
Stop fucking with people that's down here.
Right.
I mean, we all black, we all brothers and sisters, but there's some motherfuckers that's down here and there's some motherfuckers that's right here.
Let them stay down there.
Let the motherfuckers stay down here.
Just let them stay down there.
When we get together and we develop a nice class of motherfuckers that's up here, then we gonna pull their asses up too.
Yeah.
But we just can't keep reaching down in the bottom and fucking with people that ain't shit.
Right.
And thinking we gonna get better and marching and shit.
You ain't shit. Do
Right.
you understand?
Right. Let's have a march for that.
Can't help you.